Добрый вечер. Я Ирина Коновалова, приветствую вас на канале D1 в проекте 7218. Сегодня у меня вечер для небольшого small talk с интересным собеседником. Сегодня у меня в гостях психотерапевт из Израиля Danny Shanter. Hello.
Hi.
Danny, I'm very happy to see you in my studio. Thank you for coming. What are you doing in Ukraine?
First of all, I'm very happy to be here, Irina, so thank you for inviting me. I actually live here for the last 3 years, and before this I was going here and there to Israel and back. I have a family here, my wife here, my daughter is here. So
and do you have a practice, psychotherapist practice in Ukraine?
I have a practice, even though these days, because of the Corona crisis, so everything is online, and I have many clients from abroad also, but also from here.
But you have in
I have
Ukraine
a practice,
too. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and when everything will come to normality, we'll go back to do what we did before, which is groups and psychotherapy and lectures with many people. So.
I know it must be a secret, of course, but can you tell me a little who are your clients in Ukraine? I understand that they speak in English with you.
So there are actually two options. One is people who speak English. I must say that more and more people here speak English. I know in the beginning...
It's very good.
Yes. In the beginning it was bad, but I do see it's getting better. I think what gave a big push to this is the IT industry. So some of my clients are from the IT industry or people who speak English. The other option is when I use interpreter, and this also is possible, of course.
I have a question about this. Don't be shy. Why Ukrainian choose a psychotherapist who doesn't speak Russian or Ukrainian?
Well, I'm still benefiting from this, let's say, post-Soviet tradition of seeing a foreigner as better. So if somebody is coming outside of Ukraine, in Russia it's the same, I believe.
Yeah.
Outside of Ukraine, so probably he's good.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so... Yeah, so I think it's some kind of prestige, even though people don't go and tell you, no, I'm in therapy, etc. But by their feeling, I think that they feel better, I believe.
I know that there are many various branches in psychology, psychoanalysis, psychotherapy, yeah? And what is your destination?
Well, I am in this profession more than 30 years. I started education in psychoanalysis and then dynamic psychotherapy and CBT, like cognitive behavioral therapy. I had it all. So now, you said I shouldn't be modest. I will not be modest. So now I say I work Danny Shanter way. Danny Shanter way is a combination of everything that I am, everything that I studied, everything that I practiced, everything as is me, with all my life experience. All this I bring into my work, and I use whatever is needed, depends who sits in front of me. So,
I suppose 30 years, it's very, very big time for practice, yeah? And I'm afraid there are no, and it's very important for a therapist.
Yes, it is.
And I'm afraid there are no Ukrainian therapists with so big experience.
I don't know, but...
It's your very big plus, I suppose.
Experience is important. It's not enough, of course. You need some base of knowledge. And I try to combine both. People ask me, so what, you are the best in your field? I say, I'm not in a competition. I bring myself. I know myself. I know that this is my profession. By the way, I do believe that psychotherapy is in between profession and art. I'm not sure it's a pure profession. And I'm trying to be the best artist as I can be, which means using all my resources, as I told you before. So.
Okay, you said you are not in the competition.
No.
Are you frank now? It seems to me we are always in competition.
No, I'm in no competition with
So
anyone.
I need therapy, if I think so.
Okay, no problem.
Who are people from Ukraine? Most of them. Who are they?
What do you mean? People
I mean their occupations, their professions.
the people that I see. Most of them are young. I think, well, young, I mean less than 40. Asking themselves questions, educated. Most of them having degrees, like university degrees. And this is, by the way, the picture everywhere. It's not just in Ukraine, or in Dnipropetrovsk. You'll find, if you go to Manhattan, same. Who is coming to psychotherapy? Especially dynamic psychotherapy or psychoanalysis. Intelligent people, people who read, people who know some history, who know literature. It's the same.
But you said me before,
Yeah.
When we met first, that the psychotherapy is suitable for everyone.
This is true.
It was something new for me. Please tell something about this.
Okay. These people who are highly intellectual many times are not very easy clients because they're hiding behind their knowledge and behind their intellect. And I need to go through this. It's a defense, you understand? And I have to go through this defense in order to get to the material, the real material, as we look in psychoanalysis and in dynamic psychotherapy. There are sometimes people who come who are simple. What do you mean? But simple is great. For me, simple is great because there are no games, you know? The person,
you don't like games?
They don't have games. They just come and they are who they are. And for me, it's very easy because then I can relax also. I am not in a chess game, you know, like, okay, what will be the next move? What will he say? What will he think? No.
But it's amazing. It's very interesting, I suppose.
Yeah. So what I see is what I get with these people. And I like to work with all people, all levels. It doesn't matter, really. I learned during the years to talk to anyone in his language.
Danny, you work in individual mode and you have some groups.
Yes.
As far as I know.
The biggest thing that actually I'm preoccupied with these days is what we call our conferences. Conferences mean that we are doing a very intensive group work, usually during 1 week. In many places in the world we were already. Now, because of the situation, it's online, so it's shorter, it's just 4 days. And I do it with my staff. I have staff, and we are working together. It's a very, very intensive 4 days where people are working in groups, all kind of groups, small groups, large groups.
I don't know anything about group therapy.
Oh.
Why do people need group therapy?
Because when you are sitting in a group, let's say a small group, let's say 8 participants, okay? Immediately, you are sitting with 7 mirrors.
Wow.
And even you like it or don't like it, it doesn't matter. And you are a mirror for each and every one of them. This, in individual psychotherapy, is much more difficult to do. Okay? I can be a mirror for my client, but this is not the main thing that I do. But the participants in the group, of course, are mirroring the individual. For example, if I sit in a group as a participant, okay, and there is somebody in the group that is so annoying, I cannot look at this guy. I wish he'll go away. Of course, he is very important for me. Why he is very important for me? He shows me something that I don't like in myself, and I don't even know about it.
I would like to try it one day.
I think you should. It's a very, very interesting experience. So we have now our next, next conference online is in the end of July, and everybody who is in my pages on Facebook and Instagram can
I've
see
never
it.
thought about this aspect of group therapy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's very interesting for me. I enjoy it absolutely. I can do group therapy from morning till evening every day.
Danny, I have a chance to talk with you about the quarantine, about the COVID,
sure.
and I will not lose this chance.
Please.
What do you think about the situation? What do you think about the quarantine? What do you think about how has this changed the world and people?
Okay. I'll try to be focused because I can talk about it for hours and we don't have hours. It's a chance. This COVID-19 is a very big chance for humanity to do restart. Everything stopped. There was a time, not many days, but there was a period that there was not one person on the street. No shop was open, nothing. This is restart. Now, why did we need to do restart? We need to do restart because we lost totally our direction as humans. I'm not talking even just, you can talk about the nature, what we do, and the global warming, the relations between people, okay? So, this came, and I believe in it, as a chance to do something different, to do something better. And during the time that it was really stressful, you could see people help each other. You could see people more relaxed. You could see people, even though afraid, are helping their neighbors, for instance, taking care of someone that they didn't see before. It was a good thing to see. The measures that are taken by the governments, I must tell you, I am suspicious about governments in general, every government. I don't believe them. I think they have their own interests, and on this also I can talk 1 hour, which I will not. So, they are trying to do their best. So they close everything, they put mask on, even though we know already that mask is important just if you are ill or you're treating an ill person, doesn't matter. It's a symbol, it's a sign. We are all in a new era. I ask many people, stop waiting that it will come back to what it was before. It's not a good idea. Mm-hmm. This is why we had this, because of bad things that happened before. We need to create something new. We need to treat each other differently. Now, human race is basically not very smart. I'm sorry to say. Meaning, we are very creative, we can invent many things, but we don't learn from experience. So, unfortunately, we can go back to the same place. I hope not. I really hope not.
You are not too optimistic about this?
Look, I am a student of Freud. Freud was quite pessimistic about people, so I'm sorry. I want to be optimistic. I'm trying, I'm fighting to be optimistic, but it's not easy. So I hope, really, that things will change. I hope that people will relax, will stop this craziness of buying and traveling all the time and looking for the better car, the better house, another bedroom, another this. No, look into yourself. Try to find who you are. Look around you. This is one of the benefits. We suddenly understood that we have a family, that there are other people living in the house except us, okay? To know these people, to feel good with these people. I believe that this is a very, very big chance. I hope people will take it.
Okay, but may I ask you about the difference in mentality? it's not very interesting question maybe. Mentality Ukrainian and Israelis. But I don't know too many people who lived in Israel and live in Ukraine now.
Okay. You'll be surprised, I think. For me, to live here is much easier than to live in Israel. Because in Israel, it's a really post-traumatic society. Mm-hmm. You can say post-traumatic from 2,500 years, you can say post-traumatic from Holocaust, whatever. And they are working as post-traumatic people, meaning that they have difficulty to be straightforward. They are very emotional. Israelis are very emotional people. But when you ask them to touch the deep feelings, they have difficulty. It's not that they don't have it. They have it as everybody else. But to use it in communication, it's very different, very difficult. Here, what you see is what you get. If somebody meets me on the street and said, "Hello, Mr. Shandor, I would really like to kill you," okay? I am positive that he means exactly what he says. It's not a metaphor, it's not maybe. And the same if he says, "You know, Mr. Shandor, I really love you," I also believe him.
So Ukrainian more sincere, more
absolutely. Absolutely more sincere. There is what is missing in Israel today, I think, is simplicity. It's a very, Jewish people, inventive, high-tech, everything is great. And where are the simple things? To sit together, to cut vegetables together, to put meat to eat, to talk about nothing, and to feel good. Almost disappeared. Here, everybody's doing it.
But my kids live in Israel. They are alone there, and I visit them often. And I always can see how Israelis are ready to help me, my kids, and it's something incredible. I never seen this in Ukraine.
How long have you been in Israel?
2 years.
2 years. And your feeling is that everybody is helpful for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you are very rare because usually this is not the case.
But my kids live there.
Israelis will help. They are ready to help, especially when you are in trouble. Mm-hmm. Okay? When you are in trouble, they will help you. If you fall on the street, 10 people will be around you immediately, no question. Mm-hmm. And this is really very good. They are very good at it. When it comes to normal life, it's a different story. Okay? So I could live, and many could live in a building for 10 years, not knowing who are your neighbors. Mm-hmm. Okay? Not identifying that this is your neighbor. Okay? I live in the house that we live. I know who is my neighbor. I know who is not from this building already. Okay? Hello.
It looks like European Western civilization.
What is?
When you don't know your neighbors.
Israeli is an Israeli civilization. It's a combination. It's a combination of East and West. And actually the population is about 50-50 by origin, Eastern and Western. So this is what is nice about Israel, that it's very, very colorful. It's very colorful, it's very educated. People on the market speak English. Okay? You don't find it anywhere in the world.
Yes, I know.
Okay? Yeah. So there are many, many good things about it, but it's not an easy place to live. It's a great place to be for a while. It's a wonderful place to be a tourist, and please, tourists, when it's possible, go to Israel. It's a great place, expensive, but very beautiful. And to live, it's a different story. It's a tough place because of the history and because of the present, not just the history. It's not an easy place to live.
But I don't believe that you don't miss Israel.
I usually don't miss. I find sometimes I have my moments of nostalgia, connected to music, connected to food, connected to some friends which I'm in contact with, connected to one of my sons who lived there. So yeah, of course. But miss like, yeah, I would really like to go there now. No. It belongs to the past. It had very good place. It had a very good time there. I feel that I need to be where I'm feeling the best. So for now, it's here.
Okay, I have one question. It's very important for me.
Please do.
I've read in your Facebook that you like Bulgakov's novel,
Yes.
Master and Margarita.
Absolutely.
When did you write this? When did you read this?
I wish I could write like this. Yes, not yet. Look, I found Russia more than 15 years ago, and it's not much because it's only a quarter of my life. Before this, of course, I knew everything, and I read. I didn't know about Bulgakov. I was reading Tolstoy, in Hebrew, of course, Dostoevsky. Bulgakov I met when I arrived, when I started to work around Russia, Ukraine coming. And Master and Margarita, a normal person cannot write such a book. Mm-hmm. This book, and I think this person, if he's not an alien, so at least he had connection with aliens, because it's impossible. You read it and you say, how did he imagine such a picture? You know, we read the book.
Is there different ideas about this, you know?
What do you mean?
I'm so sorry that I'm talking about this, but there are an opinion that Bulgakov took some medicine for this.
I don't care what he did. What came out is ingenious. Nobody can write like this. And for me, I will say it because I really feel it. It's my second favorite book in the world.
After Bible.
After Bible.
Yeah.
Bible is it's not by chance that Bible is the bestseller of all times, and it will never be past.
But I know that you are not religious.
I'm not religious.
What have you found in the Bible for yourself?
Bible is the amazing collection of unbelievably interesting and very deep stories and metaphors about mankind. I think somebody who wants to be a therapist, it should be one of the books that he reads. Because if you read the Bible and you understand what is written there, it's the best psychology book ever.
But I suppose there are many various meaning of Bible.
No, Bible is Bible. There's just one version of Bible in Judaism.
Only one meaning.
In Judaism. Okay, there is, as the Christian call it, the Old Testament. The Christian has the New Testament. The Muslim have the Islam. They are all very important books, of course. They are all connected to one another. And for me, the Bible is the origin. No, not just for me. By fact, the Bible is the origin for everything. And about people, about mankind, I'm telling you again, it's the best book ever if you read it carefully. And you don't have to be religious. Just read it. It's a book, you know. Forget about its meaning for Jewish people, etc. It's another story. As a book, it's the best.
Thank you. I'd like to ask you about your course, True Self during the crisis. Is it right? Yeah, True Self. What is about this course?
Well, it's not a course. It's actually the topic of one of our conferences. During crisis, usually what we do is what we know how to do best. So if I know how to run, I'm running. If I know how to explain things, I'm explaining things. I'm not inventing anything new in crisis. Okay, I don't have time for this. So what is very important in time of crisis is to function. Okay, to survive.
So this is your receipt for the crisis.
Yes.
To do best what you can do.
Don't try to invent anything new. Do what you know how to do best.
It's very fresh idea for me.
Okay, I'm glad. And because you need, first of all, to survive the crisis. After we finish surviving the crisis, we can think about many things. But for now, no. So what it means, that if I need to function, and function severely, extremely, or quickly, I cannot sit now and say, okay, is it really my true self, what I'm trying to do now? Is it really me? Maybe it's not about me. Until I finish the third sentence, I'm dead, because there is a crisis, I didn't take care of the crisis, kaput, end of story, goodbye. It's not a time for thinking, but in this conference, we are saying, okay, yes, the situation is a critical situation. And you are here, people, and I told them, because you already understand that you will survive this crisis. And now you want to search for who are you really. And when you do that, when you find that, you'll be so much stronger that you can easily deal with the crisis, with any crisis.
Danny.
This is what we do.
Thank you very much. May I hope that you will come again to my program?
I would be very happy to. Thank you. Thank you very much, Irina.
Thank you. There are many insights for me personally during this interview. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I'm very happy that you feel comfortable in Ukraine.
Yes.
It's really very pleasant.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Я напоминаю, что у меня в студии был Дэнни Шандер, израильский психотерапевт. Помните, что посоветовал Дэнни. Делайте лучшим образом то, что вы умеете делать. С вами была Ирина Коновалова. Всего вам доброго.